Saturday lunchtime, I'm doing a bit of a late shave because I've got some interesting information to impart. First of all, my restored by Gary razors arrived. And he's so kind, he's given me a sample shave, which is the Saponifico Veracino 1945 70th anniversary special edition shaving soap. Bloody ho. Saponificio. Oh, lovely. Anyway, well, I'll give that a go. I've seen Gary shave with it. I'm obviously slapping some on my mush as per regulations. The poor man's pre-shave. Anyway, let me just wrap on for a moment or two before starting the shave. I'll be using two razors. One from Mr. Johnson up in Stirling, from Matthew. And the one I honed, which was in a very slight doubt because it had a very ragged edge, but is now perfect. That's the Filly13 with the interesting history, which I won't go into huge detail, but 1984 was about the last possible year when any Philharmonicas were still being made and sold. This one came without its usual address stamped on the tang, but perfect razor. There has been some debate over whether the late ones had any issues in regard to temporary. I don't believe that to be the case. Particularly when you look at the quality of the build of the razor, it's absolutely superb. It does come in a very, very strange late box. Yeah, this is rather nice lather. The box is the black simple card box with Filly13 Sello Oro on it, and the Filly sign, without the original owner's address and name. However, when I say owner, I mean manufacturer, which is Signor Powell. Anyway, that is really very, very, very thick lather. Gary, what have you been doing? Anyway, the other thing I was going to mention was this strange beast of a razor, which is unique as far as I can see. Gary says he's never seen one, but I was having a great deal of trouble trying to get a decent edge on it. Gary, the mystical, marvellous Gary, has done it. So, first of all, let's go to this strange beast. Unique. Now, this one was the one which I sent up to Gary. This is the Madag, Solingen, Germany, a 110 Madag. It has a slightly faded, but very nice gold logo on it, which you probably can't see. It is quite faded. Anyway, that's not the point. Gary's ended up putting his secret touch to it. And he's using some very strange, very high tech, which I don't fully understand, pasted strops. They are extremely unusual. You can get them, but they're quite expensive. But they're sort of like a diamond impregnated pasted strop. Anyway, be that as it may, I can't even remember what he called them. Here it is. Let's see how it performs on Gary's edge. Yeah, that's good. I took the liberty, even though it's protected in its white case, of giving a few laps on the Kaneyama. This is about 2 days of stubble. A little coarse. Not the best I've ever experienced, but I tell you what, better than it was. Thank you, Gary. Much better than it was. I'd neglected it. I tried 3 different types of finish on the edge, and each time it chipped and it was rubbish. But no, this is working. So let's just say first pass on this side. Let's do a pass now with this beauty. This is from Matthew. This is the Filharmonica 13 Sello Oro. The difference being This is the late style of case. I'd say this was about 1982, 84 roughly, just when they were going bust. Beautiful, beautiful condition. My edge on it is sufficient, but I've got a couple of things to show you in a sec. Just let me get on with this just for a minute, because Gary says this is a very water hungry soap. Yeah, how interesting. They're both the same size, they're both 6/8 razors, and they've both got a different sound. One is German, and I'd say this is around about the same date, give or take 20 years. They feel very, very, very similar now. The cut isn't perfect, but it's good. What I was going to say was, as a little additional piece of info, for those who are about to embark on straight razor shaving, just a couple of little tips, because not many people actually give out useful tips on shaving. One of the most useful that I learned was you don't try and go across the grain or against the grain when you're learning. You go only with the grain of your hair. So held like thus, usually 1 or 2 fingers on the little tang. Make sure your fingers are dry and there's no suds all over your fingers. You really don't want to slip. And then laying the spine of the blade against your skin, you slowly increase the angle. Take your time, and at first it won't cut. See, it's not cutting. Then very slightly increase the angle until there's about, in old money, about 3/8 of an inch, call it 6mm gap between the skin and the spine, depending on the size of the razor, obviously. And then only go down your cheek. Do not attempt to go across your moustache or you'll lose something like your nose. You can go down like that, but I would say for your very first efforts, don't. For your very first efforts with a straight razor, I would still say just concentrate on your cheeks. Keep the angle low. Don't go against the grain. Don't go across the grain. Just keep your angle as it should be. One more time. So it's spine against the skin, slowly tilt, and when you're happy and everything's about right, slightly increase the angle until it's cutting. Downward strokes only. And when you've got the confidence, you can then start going down the neck, keeping a low angle. Later you can do all the fancy strokes you like, but at first you mustn't cut yourself. It'll put you off. It's not funny. Well, it can be. I've laughed at myself a few times. But now going across down the moustache, that's simple. Likewise going up gently, relatively simple. The muscle memory is what you're trying to grow. You can't grow muscle memory overnight. Getting your edge dead right, buy it from someone of reputation. Gary doesn't go in for sales of razors. I wish he did, but he doesn't. Very rarely anyway. But there's your evidence. Try and get it from someone, so when they say it's shave ready, it really is shave ready. And the only real way to test that, if I may, I will show you, is to take human hair. This is special hair, this is Moroccan hair. And you take your hair and you make sure that it will actually hanging hair test. And the hanging hair test is to simply take the razor with the hair, which at my age I find difficult to see, and you go ping. And when it pings properly, which that one didn't, that did, being a wet edge, it gives a soundless cut. When it's a nice dry polished edge, you'll actually hear it ping on a deeply hollow ground razor. On a less hollow ground razor, it won't even ping. It'll just go. Anyway, let me do that again. Yeah, go on. Direction of the hair is very important. I always test before I shave, so this is about face. Before you shave, if it doesn't pass the hanging hair test, you can't shave with it. It won't shave you. It has to be able to cut human hair absolutely perfectly. Here's another piece of hair I've just found stuck to my fingers. Here we go again. Again, this is on a wet blade. In fact, let's try on the other blade, on Gary's edge. This is the Madag. This is the solingen blade. Can you hear it? Yeah, it needs a little tiny bit of effort to get it right. This one, as I say, it's got a wet edge, got soap on it probably. But again, I did dry test these blades and they hanging hair tested very, very well. And this one's not going to do it for me today. But this is the problem, child. I'm not absolutely certain, even with Gary's expertise, if this one is quite right. So what I'm going to do now, if you bear with me, wipe the blade. I'm going to show you a couple of tricks. First of all, over here, but you can't see it because I haven't got my angles right, I'm going to take a Kaniyama strop. I'm going to put it on my hanging piece here. That's the Kaniyama strop. There's the razor. Let's give it a few little laps just to make sure that the edge is still there. I can't really show you, can I? Anyway, you can hear it stropping nicely. You have to do this every time. When you finish your shave, you've got to use the canvas and then the leather. But certainly always 25, at least 25 laps on the canvas. Let's see now if there's any improvement. There may be. See if I can nick a bit of hair with my damp fingers. I won't bore you much longer. That is still being resistant. Well. Oh, it did cut. Just about. Yeah, that cut. Therefore, a couple of, if you have to, if you've got a slightly dodgy edge, you can stop halfway through your shave, as I just did, and you could do a few strops, a few laps on your strop rather. And here we go. Yeah, could you hear that? That is perfect. Do it one more time. Yeah. Bing! Anyway, one other thing to show you, which was, again, from Matthew, from Mr. Johnson. I could not believe this. I'm a lover, avid lover of Philharmonica razors. And with it came a Philharmonica loom strop. How about that? Complete with the original Philharmonica loom paste. Never seen before. Very, very unusual. I should put that with my collection of Philharmonicas. There's the paste on that side, which is a very strange brown colour. There's the plain side. I don't really need to, but I will give a quick demo. There's the Philharmonica razor. There's the Philharmonica strop. Let's see if you can see. You note the angle is about, I don't know. It's an X pattern to get the maximum blade onto the little strop. And that's the plain leather side because we've already got a good edge. This is not what I would pick as the top leather, but it's very, very, very gentle, very soft leather. You torsion up with a little handle. It's on a thread, and then you can strop away. How about that? Anyway, that's going to go back in its box to use on another day. I'm going to release the tension on the thread by just unscrewing the handle a bit. That releases the tension. I'm now going to put a little bit more of Gary's wonderful soap. Ta-da! And finish off, because believe it or not, even though it's a horrible day in January, it's actually sunny outside, and I'm going to go out. So finish off this shave with these two restored razors, the Filly13, all the way down from Scotland, and originally, of course, from Spain. This is, I must say, this is very, very gentle feeling soap. So thanks again, Gary. You are a master at picking soaps as well as honing razors. Let's try the redeemed Madag. This is going to go now against the grain. Yep. 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 That's lovely. No problem at all. Go across the grain. I find this stroke is the most likely to cause a little bit of afterburn after you've had your shave. I wouldn't say it's like, guaranteed to, but if you've got a slightly sensitive skin or a slightly unusual razor, going across the grain, thus, is just more likely to slightly upset the skin on some people. Give it a proper test. I'm now going to use the Filly13. See how that performs. These are probably about the most renowned of the razors of the world. Not the 13, but the actual maker. Oh, that's lovely. So that little bit of a test on Matthew's strop didn't do it any harm. In fact, I'd say it's slightly more comfortable than the Madag from the Gary. So there's a bit of a revelation. It is. It's slightly smoother. And I suspect it was the stropping. Let's go and do a couple of silly passes in a minute. And there, chaps, is how you straight razor shave. The benefits you get is tremendous self-confidence. You've learnt a new skill. Your hand-to-eye coordination will be improved immensely. But to find a good razor these days, and the knowledge that goes behind it, is getting increasingly rare. In fact, if I may use an old quote, it's like trying to find an honest man in Parliament. Almost impossible. However, I better not make any political quotes, because that's not very healthy, is it? Anyway, there you go. Last pass. All I can say is this soap, which is lent to me by the Gary, is the Saponificio Veracino traditional soap manufactured since 1945. And it's the anniversary edition. And it's very, very, very high quality. Most Italian stuff to do with shaving is the best. You don't tell Italians anything about shaving. Yeah, superb. So we have a redeemed, wonderful Filly13. In fact, it's as good. Yeah, I'd say it's as good now as any of my other classic period Philharmonicas, and that is saying something. In the world of straight razor shaving, Philharmonica is totemic. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's it, I'm done. I'd like to go on for another hour, but I can't. The sun will fade soon. We're in the northern latitudes here. So, there you have it. I'll just show you the two razors one more time. That is a very pleasant shave. The soap is absolutely lovely, very rich, very creamy. There is a Filharmonica 13 late model, no address, 1984. It was a gift from Matthew's barber in Spain to Matthew. What a wonderful gift. Who would have thought? There is this very strange Madag 110, which is another 6/8. They're both hollow ground. They're almost identical, except my heart goes always for the Filly. And that'll go back in its case. That strange case. Anyway, chaps, let me just wash off and call that a day. I'm very happy. The world would be happy too. Save two very unusual razors, which will be used by me, and then later, when I've popped off, they'll go to someone else, because this beardy craze won't last. That's the one thing I was explaining to a young lady on a phone call to the horrible EE. My phone was playing up. She has a half who is another half who's in the Navy, and obviously he's gone for the beardy look, but would like to do proper shaving. As I said, it's a wonderful skill, it's manly. The shaving beardy things, the beardy bit's going to go away in time. Unlike tattoos, you get them, you're stuck with them for life. Beards, moustaches, trimming, do it all the time. Anyway, chaps, that'll do. I'm blissfully happy. I've had a good shave. I'm going to go out on my bike now. I'm going to chase the seagulls up and down the promenade. Thanks for watching my nonsense. This has been a long one. I do apologise, 23 minutes of it. If you follow my channel, thank you very much. If you're thinking about following my channel, it's full of nonsense like this, so you probably shouldn't. But anyway, bye for now.